What's going on, fam? My name is Josh, you can call me Anorian, and I've got another Anor of Convallaria video for you. And a new character is coming to the game 24 hours from when this video goes live. Edda, the Rebel Maiden, is going to be joining in Sword of Convallaria. So today I want to go ahead and talk about her, talk about what reasons you should pull her, and there are a lot of reasons for this one, and what you might want to do as far as her build goes and things like that. I want to thank the Sword of Convallaria team. Because of all your support with me in the official creator program, I've actually gotten access to a server that has a secondary account, so you're not going to be looking at my main account. You're going to be looking at a secondary account that lets me see things a bit in advance of where we are right now, so I'll actually be able to show you Edda. I've gotten to play around with her a bit. I've gotten to do some build stuff, things like that, so I can come at you from a place of, like, actual play experience and kind of explain how you might use her and a bunch of the advantages she has. So I want to thank the team once again for giving me access to that, but let's go ahead and talk about her. So as of August 16th, 2024, that is, like I said, 24 hours from when this video is actually going to be going live, the new event will go live. I believe it's called Brightest Night. I'm assuming it's a play on, like, Blackest Night and things like that from Green Lantern, which, good on them for that reference. But, Edda, if you played the game at all already, if you have jumped in, if you've done the beginnings of Spiral of Destiny, the girl who is, like, leading the people who are trying to get out of Wave Run City, that is actually Edda. So you've experienced her already. You've encountered her very, very early into things. She's very, very cool, and she has a lot going for her. So let's hop on over to the game. I'm going to show you her character page straight up. I'm going to show you some notes I have on her build, and then we can start discussing things. So Edda is seen here. If you break her down, her class is Rebel Maiden. She is a Watcher type. So for those of you who have Inanna, have Gloria, she is another Watcher, and she is a support character, but she is going to be an extremely different support than someone like Inanna, or even Angel or Samantha, and we will get into all that. She has standard, move 3, jump 2, you know, nothing real. She's very regular-degular in that regard. What makes Edda stand out... Oh, and by the way, she is an area unit, a drifter unit, and a discipline unit, and there's several good synergies here. As far as Iria, she does play with debuffs, which means she goes great with Dantalion's buff if you're running an Iria team. Even though she doesn't really mess with Hanged Man's Mark, she does still benefit them, and benefits Dantalion himself in a way I will get to in a bit. She does play well with Discipline in a way I'm going to get to in a bit. So I want to acknowledge both those before we go on. But the real key standout with Edda is her trait. It's called Catching Fire. I have her at rank 3. They actually set it up to where I could put her straight to 5 stars, but I wanted to get you a bit of a realistic view of things from how she is, rather than just going with, here she is at the very strongest levels I've been playing around. That's also why she's level 40, rank 8. I am at level 38 in my own file. I wanted to be around where I am so I can give a more honest opinion. At base level, she performs an assisting attack once per turn, dealing 30% physical damage to any enemy within 4 tiles of herself. If you get it up to star rank 2, very easy, only 20 shards. She additionally gets a constant 6% attack boost. The big breakpoint is at level 3. I argue there's breakpoints at 3 and at 5 for reasons I'm about to explain, but at level 3, she goes from 1 time per round to 2 times per round. So that means it's a 30% physical damage thing twice. For people who like to use Blade, she's just a straight-up better version of Blade in that regard. When you get to rank 4, it becomes a 12% boost, and when you get to rank 5, she does not only go up to 40% physical damage per turn, she actually increases the range to 5 tiles, which is very, very cool. So my recommendation, if you get her, you plan on using her, definitely jump her up to star level 3, because using it twice per round as opposed to once per round is integral to a lot of what she's going to want to do in several fights. But then if you're going to go past 3, make sure you're going to 5. Like, there's not really a lot of benefit from 4. You're either leaving her at 3 and then upgrading other people, or you're chasing her all the way to 5. Neither of them is wrong. It all depends on what you want to focus on. Beyond that, her stats are fairly simple. She is a bow user, as you saw during Spiral of Destiny. She uses a crossbow. But as far as her abilities go, we're going to look at her upgrade tree. This is what I have as her build currently, and there's going to be something very, very unusual I recommend with her, but I think it's worth it. So, right out the gate, I think far and away, her most important ability is covered by my face right now, but it's here on the left. It is Fortification. I had this right one because I was playing around with it. Do not use a Castelia. They give me thousands to play around with so I can see everything to talk to you. Do not use a Castelia. Do not get Shield Break. I don't. It basically just makes it so that you get big bonuses when you're attacking an enemy with a shield. And at base, she comes with an attack that's meant to target with people with shields. I would not use Edda as an attacker. You could, I wouldn't. You want Fortification. Fortification is an instant skill with a 4-turn cooldown, and it just summons a box somewhere adjacent to her. I know what I just said sounds like the silliest thing in the world. I promise you, this is low-key one of the most useful skills that you will deal with. First of all, it's an instant skill, which means you can use it anywhere in your movement, and it does not end your turn. Second of all, the box has multiple uses. It can be used to help you scale a wall that is a height too high for your characters to get up. It can be used to give any of your characters high ground, which will increase their damage output, or to eliminate an enemy having high ground. If you're running around with Iggy, there you go. Here's your automatic high ground to benefit him. It can be used if an enemy is using a straight shot archer, someone like Blade or Nungal or anything like that, at a proper choke point to literally just be like, nope, you can't shoot me. It is so versatile. And there are other things she has in her kit that plays with it, but it is so versatile and useful. But really, especially, like I said, she's an area unit. Here's the best example I can give you. If you are using Nungal, make a box, park Nungal on the box for free high ground damage. Like, it's really handy. I promise you, get the box. Do not get Shield Break. Now, rank 3, I'm going to say something I rarely say. This is a character and a rank I would use a Castelia on, because I believe both of these abilities are integral to what she does. The left-hand ability is Guiding Gleam. It is a support move, it costs only 1 energy, but it also has a 4-turn cooldown. All allies within 3 tiles of her, 3 in each direction. So you see, this is a big ol' AoE. It is the same size as Mytha's big old, come on everybody, AoE. Gain 30% increased damage, a 40% magic defense boost, increase their move by 1, and she gets rid of any sort of disruption effects from anyone in that range. So move down things, lock your active skills, lock your passive skills, lock your reaction skills, lock your assists, lock your dodge, gets rid of blind, gets rid of curse. Anything that like limits your characters as opposed to just stat downs. Like it won't get rid of attack down or defense down, but anything that stops them from doing things or limits their movement, it gets rid of it. But on the other side is Wine Barrel Casting. Wine Barrel Casting, she can throw anywhere from range 2 to range 4. So it's like not the 4 cardinal directions next to her, but then going out a big area. It deals 20% damage to all enemies in range of like a box shape. So the main tile and then all the ones around it like a box shape. But the reason you use it is because it also changes the tiles on the floor to Liquor. What Liquor does, it lowers the speed of enemies in there by 150, it lowers their movement distance by 1 tile, and it lowers their magic defense by 40%. So it makes them slower to act in terms of turn order of when everyone gets to move. It limits their movement, and depending on where they are in it, they may get trapped in going towards you to where they get stuck in it for more than 1 turn. And a 40% magic defense debuff. From what I understand, to this day, in the original Taiwanese server, a year plus out from us, there is no character who can do an AoE magic defense debuff anywhere near that effectiveness, or possibly at all. I just know there's no character who can do a big 40% AoE magic defense debuff. She is amazing with mages. Beryl, Dantalion, Nungal, who uses magic damage despite going off her physical attack. All of those. She is brilliant for that. I need you to understand, she is maybe the best ally to a magic-using character you can imagine. Going up from here, you have rank 5, which has your reactions. She has the standard counterattack. I would not get that. I would get shelter advantage. It makes it so that if she's next to any item, so a barrel, a box, a brazier, anything along those lines, she reduces her damage taken by 40%. She just needs to focus on surviving and assisting all her allies, and she has the ability to make a box. So, like, she has a defensive technique essentially kind of snuck in her pocket at all times. And then at rank 7, you have Rupture Armor as a passive or Barricade Fight. Rupture Armor makes it so whenever you do a single target attack of any variety, you have a 50% chance of lowering an enemy's physical defense by 40%. Good, not great because it's a 50-50 chance, you gotta see. Barricade Fight, so if you are within one tile of a box or a barrel or anything else, obviously, she gets a 15% damage boost, and she's able to move 2 more tiles after attacking. So it lets her, like, make the box, even at the end of her movement, shoot an enemy, and then move away. Like, a lot of good you can do there. So it allows her to pivot and move around. I would recommend that because, again, she's a support. She should not be your main damage dealer. She is there to support everyone else. But it lets you position her without having to worry that she has to be wherever the box ends up. Moving beyond that, her remaining skills, which I haven't really played around with yet. Again, I'm trying to give a reality check of where I am. But Shield Break attack, which converts her regular attack into having Shield Break. So she gets a bonus whenever she's attacking enemies with shields. Or Dispelling Strike, which is turns her regular attack to dispel buffs on the target. I recommend that because when you combine it with the fact that she's doing assisting attacks, she's constantly getting rid of buffs on enemies. So if you're fighting enemies that buff themselves, she is just pinging them all around to get rid of that. And then on the top end, she has 2 big choices, either Take Arms or Storm Sniping. Storm Sniping is a big deal damage attack. Again, your mileage may vary. Is 120% damage to any enemy within a 5-tile cross shape. For every tile you're away from them, it increases by 10% more damage. So first tile is 0, so anywhere from 120 up to 160. Or Take Arms, which I would probably recommend if you're getting her up this far. It is another support skill. It's not instant, so it does end her turn, but it is range 1 to 4, so anything within 4 tiles, she restores all allies 1 NRG. Whenever she performs her assisting attack, it is a huge damage increase, and now she can increase how many times she can do it by 2 more times. So the turn she uses it, she could shoot either she could shoot 3 times if you haven't upgraded her star level at all. If you've gotten her to at least star level 3, she can shoot 4 times in a single turn. That's a lot. Whether or not you want to use that particularly or stick with what we've got down here is up to you, but that's besides the point. So, looking as far as her build goes, I use, obviously, a basic attack. Like I said, I would get Dispelling Strike, but I use Shelter Advantage so that she has the ability to make a box or stand next to an existing box or a barrel or anything else and decrease the damage she takes. I've got her box, I've got her wine barrel, I've got Guiding Gleam. She can do all 3 of these in a single turn because they are all instant, or these 2 are instant rather, and this one is a support, but it costs 1 energy, the other 2 cost no energy. The only issue is all 3 of them have a 4-turn cooldown. But basically she can make a box, she can then put wine somewhere to power up your mages, who can then stand on the box to get even further powered up, and she can throw out Guiding Gleam to increase their damage further. It is a ton of support. And then if she's in range, whenever your mages are attacking these people, she can bink snipe them for even more damage. As far as her gear goes, I really recommend, if you can get it, the Irian Combat Bow. You can also use the Whale Hunter. You can also use the Meteor Line. Generally, you want to go with anything with a secondary effect, not something with straight up increases your attack or something like that. I like Irian Combat Bow because it increases damage by 10%, and then if you get more copies and you can stack it in even more when it's not the character's turn, so it really amplifies that assisting attack, especially if you get to 2 assisting attack a turn. I can see Whale Hunter, which has a 50% chance to infect the target, which is basically like poison, or Meteor Line, which when you hit with a single target attack inflicts a random level 1 debuff for 2 turns. I just am a fan mostly of the Irian Combat Bow, but you do whatever's best for you. And then beyond that, you kind of go with what you want. I like Destruction of the Tower. Again, really ramp up that when it's not the character's turn, increase their damage, and kind of just have her play a super support role alongside everyone. But Edda is awesome. Now, as far as the synergies go, like I said, she can debuff enemies with Liquor's effect as far as them standing there. And she can throw off anything that's on the bow if you want to do Infection or something like that. She pairs well with Iria units because you got Hanged Man's Mark, you've got Liquor, now you only need 1 more debuff, and Dantalion's Leadership Aura is triggered. So she plays well with them. Also, Dantalion and Nungal both do magic-based damage. So they're both benefiting off of liquor. Like, they play with each other very, very well. If you're building an Iria team, you're going to want to get Edda. No questions asked. Also, if you're planning to make a discipline team, I don't know who's out there planning to make a discipline team, I would technically benefit. If you're one of the few people who are disciples of Leonide like myself, she actually plays really nicely here. Leonide does have a leadership aura. It applies to discipline characters. It gives the standard leadership aura boost, 10% attack, 20% defense, but it also lowers all cooldowns of at least 4 turns by a turn. So she would have 3 turn cooldowns for all of these support moves. I'm oddly not going to be pulling for her on my main account, but if you have Leonide, they pair together excellently. So if you have Leonide and you want to use him genuinely, Edda is not a bad character to go for. If you are playing Iria, Edda is an excellent character to go for. And in general, if you don't have like a good solid support character, if you don't have Blade built up, if you don't have anything along those lines, she is absolutely worth consideration. She's a great ranged character. She's going to support everyone else. The one thing I would say, if you don't have any good magic damage dealers, she is going to see less use because, again, her biggest buff is liquor. 40% M defense drop on enemies is just, you can't ignore that. So there's that. But in general, yeah, she's an excellent support. To this day, she does things that no other support unit can do. So she's probably worth pulling. I'm not going to, and I said I'm not going to on my main account, and that's because the 3 major units coming down the line the next few months that I know that I'm going to be targeting is I'm going to be targeting August because I want to build a Knights Union team. I'm going to be targeting Karis because I want to build a Papal States team. And I'm going to be targeting Hasna because I like her design for reasons. For reasons. But you tell me, are you going to be pulling for Edda? Are you excited about Edda? Do you think she's cool? I think she's a great design. I think if I didn't have the ability to, test with her freely and play with her freely, and I knew about her, I would probably be more willing to pull her. And also the fact that she plays so well with Leonide, I might end up getting tempted down the line. I'm not going to lie to you, but I don't have a ton of magic using high-end damage dealers on my main account, so for now I'm probably going to avoid it. But she is awesome, okay? She is great. She is a wonderful unit. Most people should probably pull for her, but let me know. Are you pulling for her? Comment down below. Are you pulling for her? Are you waiting to pull for someone else? What do you want to see? Please let me know. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. I got the roll videos coming up, probably the middle of next week. I just want to wait till more of them are done so I can release them all very close to each other. And other than that, as per usual, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Till next time, I'll catch you later, fam. All right.